The UK freight forwarders have capacity for no-deal Brexit. European Union and British negotiators are still trying to create a deal for free trade. If this doesn't happen, the UK will start the new year with a no-deal Brexit, and a nightmare of work with high tariffs that would hurt the UK economy and slow trade in Europe. According to newly released secret UK government documents, if Britain leaves the European Union without a deal, called Brexit, truck traffic through the English Channel Tunnel and on ferries could drop to half what it is now for 3 months. The papers show that truck drivers could also have to wait up to 2.5 days before crossing into France. Contents: what will happen to freight forwarding after Brexit? Getting ready for freight forwarding after Brexit. After Brexit, how to use a freight forwarder, how to code your exports, insurance and being responsible, commercial invoice, keep records. What will happen to freight forwarding after Brexit? Before Brexit and the end of the transition period, EU states did not have customs borders. This arrangement eliminated almost all of the delays and paperwork caused by customs. It meant that no customs fees had to be paid. Goods could also go through an EU country without any problems on their way to another country. To move goods into, out of, or through EU countries, you must fill out customs paperwork. You'll have to pay VAT if you bring in more than £135. The government has passed laws to help businesses deal with this problem as little as possible. You could, for example, use simplified customs procedures to delay the need for customs paperwork by 6 months after the end of the transition period. Getting ready for freight forwarding after Brexit. According to the IZ Global Logistics Report, businesses that trade with the EU and haven't had to worry about the free flow of goods between Great Britain and the EU will need to seriously consider working with a freight forwarder who knows how to follow the customs and excise rules for trade going to and from Great Britain and countries that aren't in the EU. These rules cover a wide range of things, including but not limited to import and export declarations and licenses, new terms and conditions of service, VAT, and duties, and entry and exit declarations. When moving freight internationally, businesses will probably feel the effects most in the legal and customs areas. This is where freight forwarders can help. They should focus on what they do best and let their freight forwarder take care of the services they need in order to move goods between Great Britain and the EU. Businesses that trade internationally need to make sure they have taken care of all the paperwork and other administrative tasks needed to keep shipping delays to a minimum. This isn't easy, though, because of the uncertainties we've already discussed. After Brexit, how to use a freight forwarder. Here are some things to consider when using a freight forwarder, but remember that this list only includes the most important things. How to code your exports. The freight forwarder will expect you to label your goods using the Harmonized System (HS) commodity code system. This rule is the same as the one already in place when you send or receive goods from the EU. But these are even more important because they may affect your customers' taxes, insurance and being responsible. Freight forwarders may offer different types of insurance, and you should choose the one that fits your needs and the needs of your freight. This choice is likely to depend, at least partly, on how much it costs. As part of this process, you also need to figure out who is responsible if something goes wrong. Like if there are delays, the cargo gets damaged, or someone gets hurt while handling it. Notably, you can buy extra insurance for third-party cargo damage. Commercial invoice. The freight forwarder will need a copy of the commercial invoice. It should include the cost of shipping and insurance as well as the value of the goods. Even if you've included it in the price you're charging, you'll need to list it separately. The freight forwarder will use this to figure out how much you owe in customs fees, so make sure it's correct. Keep records. The government of the United Kingdom says that you must keep records of your trades for at least 4 years. If you're registered for VAT, you'll need to keep the documents digitally for 6 years.